Geekdom QNA is here today where I answer your questions about shit. Dun, dun. Alright, I'm not going to sing. That's strictly for Talk Dragon Ball. So welcome again to another beautiful, lovely, sunny day here in Florida. And those of you who are in the Tampa Bay area, I don't, there's probably a very, very small number of you who are. You know that we had a hellacious week as far as weather goes, but I'm here to brighten it up because the sun is back and Geekdom Q&A is here where I answer your questions from the Ask FM. Now, before I begin answering questions, I want to say real quick that I have been answering some questions on the Q&A, like usually some quick ones. I do answer them here, as you can see. I'm not going to be doing it for all the questions, but just some quick answers I'll give you just, if I have some free time. It's one of those things where I'll answer it if I have free times, but I prefer to go in and do it video-wise. So let's go ahead without any further ado and jump to these questions. Let's do it. First question this week. Anytime you would have preferred the Buu saga to end or end differently? I've talked about this a number of times. I think that, well, actually, maybe I have it on this channel, but I have privately with some of my friends who are Dragon Ball fans. I think that the Buu saga definitely dragged on for too long near the end. I think that Gotenks or Gohan would have been a better choice. I love the epicness of the end, how everybody has to pitch in to donate energy for Goku. I love all that stuff, don't get me wrong. And how Vegeta is redeemed is actually really, really good writing. But the stuff before that, where they're teasing Gotenks and Gohan being the hero, I think Gotenks and Gohan maybe combined should have been the one to kill Buu. That's my opinion, of course. However, I love Vegito. I think Vegito getting the big W would have been great as well. Let me go over here. I think it would have been fantastic. But that's my opinion. Either way, I actually, for a long time in my fandom, I used to hate the Buu saga ending. I don't hate it as much anymore. I like it. Don't love it as much as like the Cell ending, but my opinion has changed. I used to really, really not like it. So, do you think that maybe a catastrophic event will cause Goku and the others to use the Super Dragon Balls? If we think about it, what would be any good reason for the hunt of these Dragon Balls? I'm not saying that's what I think will happen. I'm asking, could that be a possibility from Kurdoma? Absolutely. In fact, if it's not a catastrophic event, it's not going to be a really well-written story, because why would they have to go and get other Dragon Balls in another universe or whatever if they already have Dragon Balls on Earth and Dragon Balls on Namek? They can always contact the Namekians and get Dragon Balls there. So, I mean, something has to happen. I know there's been speculation Beerus is going to get killed, or the Dragon Balls are going to disappear again, or something's going to happen that makes the Dragon Balls disappear. I don't know what Toriyama and Toei are cooking up for us, but really, in order for these guys to get even stronger Dragon Balls, it almost has to be an earth-shattering or maybe even a universe-shattering event. That's what I think. Jocko the Galactic Patrolman versus Green Lantern. I think Green Lantern would kick his ass. However, I prefer Jocko as a character. People have asked me about my thoughts on DC, and I'm much more of a Marvel guy than I am DC. I just personally like Jocko. I think he's cooler than Green Lantern. I've always felt that way. But I like Green Lantern. I really do like Green Lantern. Like, I really think about it, and Green Lantern might actually be one of my favorite DC heroes just because he's so different and he's very creative and he's just a badass. So, but I think Jocko is a cooler character because he's funnier. He entertains me more. So, is Frieza's 5 minutes thing in the manga? Yes, that is indeed in the manga. We got to remember, though, guys, that the 5 minutes was not 3.5 hours like it was in Dragon Ball Z, and the manga is, of course, much faster paced, so it would make a little bit more sense that it's 5 minutes. When I was watching Dragon Ball with my fiance, she brought up, why the hell is this 5 minutes taking so long? And I think we've all asked that question. I think all of us, when we were watching the Freeza saga for the first time, whether it be on Fansub, whether it be on the iChannel, whether it be on Toonami, whether it be on the VHS tapes, whether it be in Latin America, it doesn't matter. We've all asked, why the hell is this 5 minutes taking so long? And I just answered back, and I'm like, maybe he miscalculated. I mean, I did explain to her later on that, it was different in the comic, and then it made more sense, and that's the truth. But if you want to explain to somebody, I've always just, in my own head canon, Hail Zeon's favorite word, I've always just said, well, he miscalculated by about 2 hours. So I was gonna make a joke, but I don't know how people would take to it. But down here in Florida, and I am a Hispanic, we have this thing called Hispanic time, where if a Latino tells you, and again, I'm Latino, so don't take this as anything like offensive or anything. But if somebody who's Latino, Cuban, Puerto Rican says I'll be there in 5 minutes, it's usually about 2 hours. So it's just a joke that we always make to each other, Spanish time. Maybe that's what happened here. Maybe Frieza's actually from Puerto Rico or something. Do you think Bra, Bulla, Pan, and Oob will be in later Dragon Ball Super episodes? Also, why do you people forget about Bra? I don't know why people forget about Bra. I've talked about this on Twitter ad nauseum. People have this weird thought, I don't know why, that Bra and Pan and Oob are just GT characters. But they're not. They're in the final chapters of the manga, and they're in the end of Dragon Ball Z. So I feel like people, maybe they just didn't watch the last 3 episodes. Maybe they forgot. I can understand if you haven't watched Dragon Ball in like years. Like, I know some folks that have not watched Dragon Ball Z since it aired in Toonami. Maybe you could forget that. But I mean, this information, it's out there, and I'm going to help with this information as much as I can. But, definitely, guys, if you have not watched Dragon Ball, rewatch it. If you haven't seen it in a while, rewatch it. Whether it be the Kai dub, whether it be the Japanese Z, I wouldn't recommend watching the original dub again. However, please take note that if you do watch the English dub on the Orange Bricks, it's different than the English dub on Toonami. There were some vocal changes made. There were some Bruce Faulconer music changes that were made. So it's not the same. Just letting you guys know. I'm not going to get into all the changes. There's way too many of them. I don't even remember half of them. But Funimation did go back and redub the original Z for the Orange Brick releases, slightly different. Like I said, there's not that many changes. Most of it's during the Freeza saga, but there's definitely some changes. Mostly Chris Sabat, who actually went back and redid everything because he was so ashamed of his wannabe Brian Drummond voice, or so I hear. So to answer your question, I'm rambling again, folks. Do you think Brawl, Pan, and Oob will be in later Dragon Ball? I hope so, but I have a weird feeling that Super's going to end before the 10-year gap. That's just my view. Where do you think Goku was during those 5 years Bulma and the others haven't seen him? Universe 6? Yes. Unless there's going to be another plot hole, that's where I think he was. Who wrote the lyrics to Spellbound? K Solo. I know who submitted this question. It's an inside joke. If you get this joke, man, then you are hip hop. Do you think Beerus and Whis will ever be challenged in Dragon Ball Super? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope that is the case. It's cool to see Whis and Beerus be so strong, but I do want to see Whis in an actual competitive fight where he has to use his head and his knowledge to win. That would be great. What could Whis be doing if he never sleeps? Does he train himself or what? That's always been weird to me. Well, it's you got to remember, guys, it is a cartoon. This shit doesn't make any sense anyways. I mean, how many cartoon characters actually sleep? Same shit. I mean, some do, but some don't. I mean, same thing. But Whis is like some kind of god. I mean, he is a god. I know that some people were confused because in Revival of F, Beerus is like, well, I'm a god. Well, Whis is... I mean, okay, I don't know if Whis is a god, but he's definitely higher than a god because he can kick Beerus' ass. Whatever being he is, a being called Whis, is what he is. Does he train himself? I don't know if he trains himself, but that is a great question. Who is Whis' master? Where did he get so good? I don't think we'll ever get the answer, but maybe we will. I mean, we got the female Whis creeping up, so maybe she'll shed some light on the history of Whis. If so, I'll do a video. Why do people assume female Saiyans can't go Super Saiyan even if there hasn't been a female Saiyan to turn Super Saiyan, not including GT? Well, I don't even think... Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know why they assume that. Probably because we never saw one. I did a video with Jay about this, Talk Dragon Ball, about female SSJs, female Super Saiyans. And yeah, I'm switching between Saiyan and Saiyan. That's just my brain. But yeah, I don't think we ever saw it. Thus, people assume that it can't be done. Why do you think Champa was on Beerus' planet when Goku and Vegeta were training with Whis? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I don't remember Champa being... Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about like that preview. That brief little preview that we got from Dragon Ball Super. I don't know if Champa was in the same scene as when Goku and Vegeta were being trained. But I do have a theory Guys, I have a theory. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section about this one, because I want to know if you agree with me or not. I think we're going to see Champa early. I don't think they're going to wait till the Universe 6 arc. I think Champa's going to appear, and there's evidence to prove it, whether it be the manga chapter 2, whether it be the card game commercial that shows Champa watching Goku and Beerus fighting in space. No, I think we're going to see Champa early. We're going to probably see Champa probably after or during the Goku and Beerus fight, when Goku's in his God form. That's when we're going to see Champa. In other words, Champa will become a character right around then. It is the Battle of Gods arc, so there's going to be more than one God, I assume, but it's not just Goku and Beerus this time. I think Champa will be seeing him actually very soon. If you were to put a gun to my head and say, when are we going to see Champa? I'm going to say episode 12 or 13, maybe even sooner than that. Do you prefer the selfish Goku from the manga or the hero Goku in the anime? And do you think they should portray Goku as more selfish in the anime? Well, Toriyama certainly thinks they should. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, read the manga and look up the Toriyama interview on KANZENSHUU about it. It's actually an old interview from like 92, where he talks about how he doesn't like the fact that Goku was portrayed as this, like, you know, hero who's selfless, when in reality Goku's very selfish and does a lot of things for himself. Not saying he's a bad guy, but he's more, you know, he's not this like superhero like in the Dragon Ball Z movies, and especially in the original English dub when they really made him out to be that way. The thing is, I actually like both Gokus. I really do. But if I were to pick one, I would prefer the selfish Goku, because to me, guys, you know, like I've said before, I like Marvel more than DC, and one of the reasons for that's because the DC superheroes are like flawless and you can't really relate to them, whereas Goku being selfish and kind of being a little dumb and naive, you can relate to an imperfect character. You know, look at Marvel. Spider-Man's broke. Iron Man is a drunk in the comic. You know what I mean? Even Thanos is like, you know, in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love when characters have flaws that we as humans can relate to. And even though I'm sure that most of us, here's where it gets deep, guys. I know a lot of us won't admit this, but we're selfish creatures. I mean, we really are. We do selfish things. I try to be selfless. It's a struggle sometimes, and I know for a lot of us it is, but, you know, at the end of the day, we have to look out for ourselves. That's how we are built. That's how human beings are. It's part of our survival skills. That is how we are built. We cannot deny our own nature. So seeing a selfish hero who's actually says, okay, I want to take care of my family, I want them to be okay, but I want to fight Freeza, and I don't care if I die and they miss me. I need to do this because I'm a man. Like, that to me, it speaks volumes more than just being this, you know, Superman wannabe. Do you think Funimation has a chance to redo the dub on the OG Dragon Ball Z and make it better and skip TV and put it on Blu-ray? It's not going to happen. There's already a Blu-ray out. There's been several different releases. There's already somewhat of a redub, both with the Z Orange Bricks and with the Kai dub. I don't see Funimation going back and redubbing it again. There's already enough dubs, and honestly, it does suck that there were a lot of mistakes that were made early on. And like I've said before, it's not Funimation's fault in every case. But I don't see them redubbing this series again. The only way this could ever happen is if someday Toei decides to completely redo Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Not like Kai, I mean like redraw it from scratch, and I just don't see that happening. Kai is too recent. I just do not see it happening. Plus, Super's, you know, people want new shit. They don't want the same old shit over again. That's the way I always see it. Yo, Geekdom, huge fan, thank you. All right, what if in one of the 12 universes there can also be an alternate fates? Let's say Bardock and Planet Vegeta are still existing. Bardock could have found the power to go Super Saiyan. What if the Z Fighters go to Planet Vegeta? I mean, that's been a dream of a lot of people, right? A lot of fans have wanted the Z Fighters to go to Planet Vegeta. A lot of fans want Goku to meet Bardock. I mean, that's been, you wouldn't believe, guys, how many times, you would, you know, how many times people have hit us up on Twitter, on the comment section, or on our Facebook pages. Geekdom 101 on Facebook, by the way. Also, I check out QAAMAN's page from time to time. He gets a lot of people asking him about this as well on his page. And also the comment sections of all our videos, you know. They want Goku to meet Bardock, and I think it's one of those things where it just seems like it would be cool to see them interact. I mean, Goku doesn't really give a shit, but as far as this, I like your idea, but it really does come off non-Toriyama. It comes off like a fan kind of thing, which it is a fan idea because you came up with it. So it's one of those things where I wouldn't mind seeing it at all. I would not mind seeing it. I just don't see it happening. Toriyama doesn't do this kind of stuff. So you're better off drawing your own fan manga or some shit, or doing what Absalon does and making your own, like, series, your own fan series. I actually might do a video about Absalon soon. I'm thinking about it. All right, Andrew Poor, continuation. Last question. All right, I'm not sure what the last question was, but we'll try here. Hopefully Trunks and Goten are teenagers and they find a full Saiyan girlfriend, or some of the Saiyans go to Earth to breed. Oh, I see, with the Saiyan Vegeta thing. And I just realized that they are a warrior race and would probably destroy. Yeah, that would be as from Andrew Poor. That would be the problem, right? However, I would actually be cooler if Trunks and Goten. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The Trunks and Goten dating girls of the same race would be fucking awesome, especially if they explore some of the comedy with Zenkai Boost. And there's just so much potential with these characters to do some real comedy. I don't know if we're going to see it. I would like that idea, but I'm pretty sure Trunks and Goten are going to end up with human wives. But, that's my thought. In the Leo Carol, or is it Carol? In the Dragon Ball universe, there are a lot of cool and flashy attacks we see, but what do you think are the most interesting? Personally, I like any of the key charge strikes, such as the Wolf Fang Fist. Leo Carroll. I like the Wolf Fang Fist, without question. And here's the thing, guys. I think, and I've said this a million times, people who have only seen Dragon Ball Z, you gotta go back and watch Dragon Ball. Because those tournaments had some of the coolest fucking techniques, bro. Like, I miss Tao's Dodonpa. Dodonpa! He's just fucking raw with that shit. And I miss Roshi's like drunken master technique. I miss Tenshin Han, how he would get the arms out of his back. There's just so many cool techniques in Dragon Ball that I think are forgotten about, for the Kamehameha and the Genki Dama and the Kaioken and all that. I miss the Dragon Ball attacks when they were really creative. Toriyama did a lot in Dragon Ball that he never really revisited. So yeah, I love the Kienzan, aka the Destructo Disc. My favorite attack is probably the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. I love that fucking move, bro. It's weird, but I love it. What makes the Solar Flare solar? It's not powered by the sun. It's just ki. It should be called Energy Flare. Well, Taioken is the original name of the move, which basically means Sun Fist. So in the original connotation of what the move is, I think the idea is that when you do Taioken or Solar Flare, whatever dub, doesn't matter. Whenever you see that, even though it's not powered by the sun, the energy is going to equal that of the sun. Even though it's implied in Dragon Ball that it actually is from the sun. In fact, I'm trying to think of a time when it wasn't done when the sun was out. But maybe I'm just forgetting something. To be honest with you, I'm not perfect, even though I am Iceman, cold as ice. No, but like, even if it's not from the sun, even though it is just ki, it's sun-like in that it blinds you. It's just a name. DBZ versus DC versus Marvel. I don't know what you're talking about, whether it be strength or whether it be... okay, I like Dragon Ball the most, then Marvel, then DC. As far as who's stronger, it's probably going to be Marvel, DC, and DBZ. Because, DC's got Superman Prime. Marvel's got these wacky gods. I mean, DBZ can't compete. I love DBZ. Super Perfect Cell versus Brainiac. I love Brainiac, but Brainiac is actually my favorite DC villain. There you go. Super Perfect Cell wins, though. He's just too powerful. Majin Vegeta versus Superman. I mean, Superman wins. I just gotta be honest with you. Only like the god Goku can keep up with Superman. Super Slim Shade. These questions are fucking weird. Super Slim Shade, 3M Super Saiyan Goku. I don't even... Goku? What other anime do you watch and like? I've said this before. I've answered this question already, but I'll go through it real quick. I like Evangelion, Fushigi Yugi. I like some of the Gundams. What else do I like? Shit. I haven't seen a lot of the new ones yet. I liked Cowboy Bebop back in the day. Fuck. Sailor Moon. I like Sailor Moon. What else did I like? I like some of the films like Akira, Ninja Scroll. I'm just going through some quick ones. As far as modern ones, I haven't watched a new modern anime in years, man. I can't get into Naruto and One Piece and Bleach because they're too damn long. Maybe I will one day. I'm just that right now I just can't. And plus Dragon Ball's back, so that's what I'm gonna focus on. What video game series do you like? Oh my god, I mean, I love video games, dude. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, I love everything. Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty. I like Mass Effect. I like Fallout. I like, fuck, dude. I like, of course, the ones I grew up with. Mario, Zelda. There's very few video games, if they're done well, that I don't like. I love video games. So, as far as my favorites, love Mega Man. Love Zelda, love Dragon Quest, and love Final Fantasy up until 10. All the ones after 10 are kind of not really my cup of tea. I would say those are probably my favorite video game series. But I mean, you understand, I love video games, dude. Like, I don't get to play them as much as I used to when I was younger, but I fucking love Batman Arkham Asylum. I fucking love sports game. I love Max Payne, just like Dragon Ball Nation does. Dude, I just like video games. If they're good and they're fun, I'll like them. I'm very open about that. Excuse me. Hey, Geekdom, I've always been wanting to ask any of the DB tubers about this, but none have been answering, so I'm asking you. All right, I will answer it. What if Goku had his tail during this fight with Vegeta? If they both went to grade 8, would the fight have ended differently? That would have been awesome. That would have been great. One of my dreams is always to see a double grade 8 fight. Two Uzarus going at it, fucking shit up, preferably in a city. Fucking buildings getting knocked down on some Godzilla shit. You imagine that shit plus fucking the key attacks and shit? Man, that would have been awesome. I know I'm being loud right now, guys. I am heffed up on coffee this morning. That's why I'm freaking like talking like this all fast. I drank a lot of coffee. I like, of course, hazelnut with extra cream, extra sugar, just like the wolf said in Pulp Fiction. I think that the fight would have ended differently. Yes, I don't know if... The thing is, I think Vegeta would have still won because Goku never learned to master his Uzaru form. I think Vegeta would have still beat him, but it would have definitely been different. And either way, I still think that at the end of the day, Krillin may have probably come back and chopped off Vegeta's tail, but then he would have had to chop off Goku's tail because Goku would have gone on a rampage. So that would have been great. Do you hate that the Ocean dub recycles music from Mega Man? And what he's talking about, guys, is he's talking about not the original Ocean dub, but when the AB group came in to do the Ocean dub for the Android saga and everything after that, they did recycle music from Mega Man. It's extremely annoying and extremely jarring, to be honest with you. I grew up watching the Mega Man animated series, so I recognize a lot of those tunes, including the fucking... They took the instrumental for the theme song. Super Fighting Robot, Mega Man. You can hear it in Dragon Ball. Fuck! But what's funny about that is that the Ocean group, the voice actors, like 80% of them did Mega Man. Like Scott McNeil and Brian Drummond, they were in Mega Man. So that's kind of funny to me. But it is rather annoying. They should have either stuck with the Falconer. Well, if they couldn't get the Falconer, they should have just gone with the Japanese music. Do you think the Ocean dub deserves DVD release? I don't know if anybody would care at this point. I mean, to be completely blunt about it, I think that those actors deserve to be paid as much as anybody else does because they all worked very, very hard. But I just don't see the market for another dub, guys. It's just there's too much of the same shit out there. You know, a couple of years ago, if you went to Best Buy, you saw Dragon Ball Z Kai Blu-ray, Dragon Ball Z Kai DVD. You saw the Dragon boxes. You saw Rock the Dragon. You saw the Ultimate Uncuts, maybe if they were still there. You saw the Orange Bricks. It's like literally, and then you saw the Blu-rays. You know, there's just too much of the same Dragon Ball. Like new Dragon Ball, like Super and these new movies is fine. But it's like re-releasing those Radix episodes again and again and again. The market's not going to want to buy it. It's just, you know, you're flooding the market, which is a mistake that Funimation made several times. All right, last question for this week's. What form do you like better, Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan God? Also, I just want to say I love your videos because what you're doing, Luke. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate it, and I will keep doing it in the foreseeable future as much as I possibly can. Which do I like better, 4 or God? I like 4 better in the way that it looks, and I've changed my mind about this. I don't hate the God form. Please don't think that I do. I know a lot of fans don't like it. I think the God form is fine, but 4 just looked pretty fucking cool. Like I actually used to hate it, but it grew on me. The black hair, the purple fur. I still like Golden Uzaru more. Don't get me wrong, and I still like God SS God, like the blue-haired. I still like those two more, but out of these two the options that you gave me, I think 4 looks cooler. All right, that's it for this week's episode of Geekdom Q&A. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Catch you down the road.